There is a conversation that has been happening in the Genshin community for a very long time now. It has been quiet, something in the background, a complaint that was always so easy to dismiss as nitpicking or just whining. But over the last few weeks, that quiet conversation has become impossible to ignore. It is not about endgame, it is not about rewards, it is about something much more fundamental. It is about the core quality of the product we are all looking at and what it implies about the company's priorities. We're going to look at the evidence, deconstruct the arguments, and talk about why this isn't just another dumb complaint. But of course, if you find this kind of analysis valuable, a like on the video and a subscribe to the channel is always appreciated. It is the best way to support this kind of commentary. So if you have been online at all for the past few days, you have almost certainly seen the images. They are very simple, deceptively simple. On one side of the picture, you have a screenshot of a new NPC from the latest Archon quest. Her name is 𝗖cie, and right over her, just one word, NPC. On the other side, you have a screenshot of Diluc, and over him, two words, playable character. And that's it. That is the entire post. The person posting it doesn't add a long essay. There is no 20 tweet thread explaining why they are upset. Sometimes they will add an emoji, maybe an XD, you know what I'm saying? The picture is all they need. And just for posting that, 1.2 million views, 52,000 likes. Hey, this isn't a niche complaint from a handful of people on a back alley forum. It is a mainstream sentiment. It has struck a nerve, and it has gone completely viral. The reason this image is so patent is that it is just the latest flashpoint, and maybe the most blunt example of a discussion that has been boiling for a very, very long time. This post, right, this simple image taps directly into what players are calling the model gap. It is the disparity, the obvious growing difference between the quality of the new characters and the assets that have been in the game since launch. This is, of course, intentional. It is the character design creep, right? To sell the newest characters, they must look better than the old ones. If they didn't, the developers wouldn't be innovating, and the new banners probably wouldn't sell as well. So we get newer characters like Flynn's, Llama, and Nefer, who all look great. But this didn't just start with 𝗖cie. The real fireworks show was a few weeks earlier, around October 10th, with the Varka reveal. We finally got to see his in-game model, and it was different. He is mature. He is rugged. His model has a defined nose, a sharp jaw, detailed hair, boobies. You know what I'm saying? No? Just me? Am I the only one who...
I'm starting to think that 𝗖cie𝗽𝗆𝗆𝗆 might be gay.
You know what? Textures that set a new standard. And immediately, the community did what it does. They took a screenshot of Varka and they put it right next to Diluc, and the comparison was unflattering.
Oh, no.
It instantly highlighted just how flat and dated the 1.0 model looks. His proportions, his famously large bug eyes, it all looked like a relic. He is not the only one either. Players have grieved over albedo for years. You look at his official art, he is stunning. And then you look at the in-game model.
Ah! Good God! It's hideous. But beautiful in an ugly way. But mostly hideous. Ugh.
It looks like a kid's meal toy from McDonald's, and not even a good one. This issue is so constant. There is literally a Twitter account called Days Since Diluc's Model Got Compared To. Its high score for not having a new viral comparison post is 3 days. So that debate was already happening. And now with this latest quest, we have 𝗖cie, and the community is observing that even this NPC, a character you can't play, has a level of polish that rivals a 5-star character from the permanent banner. The immediate defense you will see is that this is a stupid comparison. Of course, the new model looks better. One is from 2020, the other is from 2025. Stop complaining. You're hurting my feelings. Diluc is my favorite character. But that defense misses the single most important point. He isn't a legacy character. It's Diluc. It's 𝗖cie, it's 𝗖cie. The launch 5 stars, the ones often mocked for all having the same face, are the characters that players today are still getting. Hear me out, okay? When you pull on a new banner for a highly polished character, like let's say Llama, and you lose that 50-50 chance, they are the ones who you might get instead. And that is the core of the issue. The consolation prize for failing to get the new premium product is a character that looks visibly and jarringly outdated. This criticism, right, that the 50-50 prize is jarringly outdated, is where you see the community split. You have people running defense for the company, glazing, as someone would say, who will call any criticism ungrateful. And you have heard all of the arguments. They are from different eras. It is not a fair comparison. Oh, you begged for better NPCs, and now you're complaining that they're too good. You will even hear arguments about morals. He may be chopped, but at least he has morals. This is a design debate. Who cares about morals? This is a game where people simp for Tartaglia, who was willing to endanger thousands of lives, or Arlecchino, or Senora, who kills people. But hey, who cares? They are hot. Bringing morals into a design debate is like showing off your new boyfriend, and your friends just go, oh, is he funny? Does he have a good personality or something? Hey, we all know what that means, bro. That guy is chopped. And then there is the lore defense. People will actually argue that Diluc's bug eyes and baby face are canonical because 𝗖𝗆 calls him a big kid in one voice line. It is a stretch. Hey, yo, there are lore reasons apparently. What? And of course, there is the argument that it's too expensive or it would take up too much file space, which for a multi-billion-dollar nuclear reactor owning company seems unlikely. The most significant defense though, the one you will see repeatedly constantly, is that it is illegal. There is this persistent myth that HoYoverse is bound by the Chinese gacha laws, that they literally cannot change a character's model after they have released it, because that would be a bait and switch. But let's look at that claim objectively. We don't even have to guess. We have a direct, irrefutable counter-precedent, an example of HoYoverse already doing this very thing. Remember the 2022 alternate character skins? The very big nerf to character design? Back in early 2022, HoYoverse was forced by censorship to change the default outfits for Jean, Mona, Amber, and Rosaria. Their solution wasn't a simple replacement. To avoid backlash, they added the new censored outfits, which while also giving every single player the original designs back for free as optional skins that you can swap between at any time. This one event proves two things beyond any doubt. One, the legal argument is a myth. They clearly can alter and provide alternate models. Two, the technical argument, the idea that it's too hard or unfeasible, is also false. The framework for providing an optional swappable model already exists in the game. And if those arguments weren't weak enough, you have fans on Twitter making small edits to Diluc's hair, and the community absolutely rejoices. Holy peak, he is so gorgeous. It just shows how low the standards have become. People have been so disappointed for so long that they will celebrate anything that looks like a small improvement. So all of these common defenses, they just don't hold up, which brings us to the core of the frustration. Because once you remove all of those excuses, you are left with one conclusion. This isn't about Diluc's face, it is about priorities. The community is looking at this lack of maintenance, this refusal to update a core part of the product, and they are contrasting it with where the development resources are being visibly allocated. This refusal is the same feeling people get about the lack of proper artifact loadout system after 5 years. And the most recent, the most glaring example of this contrast is the Miliastra Wonderland. This new mode was not perceived as a simple creative bonus. It was seen almost immediately as a deeply predatory and complex monetization experiment. Players got a 5-star outfit that cost roughly $138 to guarantee, and then found an ascension system for this outfit, meaning if you pull a duplicate of that $138 outfit, you unlock a recolor. That's another $138 for a different color. Oh my god, that is game breaking. I have never seen something so predatory. And then there is the free-to-play loop, a 70 pity, just to get a 4-star recipe and not the item. The instructions to make the item. To actually craft it, you either have to grind for a painfully long time or just pull 2 more copies of that same recipe, a system that could require a 210 pull loop just for one 4-star item. All of this is wrapped in a 3-currency shell game, a deliberately confusing system designed to obscure, to hide just how much real money you're actually spending. And this all comes from the same company that was recorded on camera famously saying they don't want money. So the observation is simple. Players see a buggy, unfinished side mode that had immense, complex, and deeply predatory systems built around it, and then look back at Diluc's 5-year-old model. The conclusion that they're reaching is that development resources are not being spent on player goodwill or on maintaining the core product. They are being spent to engineer new, aggressive ways to extract money from you, from children. So at the end of the day, these viral posts, the ones comparing an NPC to Diluc, they aren't just a simple or a dumb complaint. They are a symptom. They are a sign of a much more significant and a much more valid criticism. They highlight a fundamental disconnect, a gap between a player base that wants the core experience and the value of their accounts to be maintained, and a developer whose actions appear to be focused somewhere else entirely: your wallet. The evidence shows that updating these models is not a question of ability. HoYoverse has already proven they have the legal standing to do it. They have proven they have the technical framework for it, and they absolutely have the financial resources. It is not about ability, it is about priority. And when players see this clear lack of priority, this inaction on core game maintenance, sitting right next to the launch of a new, deeply predatory and incredibly complex gacha system, well, it is hard to fault them for asking where the company's focus truly lies. It leaves one fundamental question: what do you think it would take for the maintenance of older content to become a priority again? Let me know your thoughts below in the comment section, but that is all from me, 𝗖cie𝗽𝗆𝗆, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers!